Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
What up, what up, what up, what up? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
So, I'm Gary.
I'm Chris.
This is Winning Cures Everything. We do this every day, 10 to 20, and whenever Chris is on, 30 minutes.
That's right.
At a time. Sports show. Share it out if you enjoy it. We appreciate you joining us today. Man, I don't have the Restream chat open. I did not think about that.
Oh, that's all right.
But it's okay. We'll get that thing open and go from there. The show, this is May 23rd, Thursday, the Thursday edition of the show. Let me give you a rundown of what we're going to talk about. I made a visit to another show today. We'll talk about that. Tom Bowen scandal, possibly, we think, maybe. The former Memphis AD, we'll talk about that.
Is it sad to say we hope?
I don't know that I hope.
I think that's wrong.
I don't think that I hope that, but I mean we can talk about it. We'll see. Possible NBA trade. Mike Conley for Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what we want out of that. All NBA team was announced. The first, second, and third teams, and man, you want to talk about some mega money? We're going to talk about somebody that's going to make a bunch of money. And then Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston signed their extensions today. Their fifth-year option. So, we got a bunch to discuss. Chris, everything good? You
We're
staying
good.
busy?
Yeah.
We get to do the show in person today. I took off
That's
work.
right. I know. I'm
It's,
excited. I like it.
I took a visit to downtown Memphis today and visited the Chris Vernon show. So, shout out to Ricky Rose,
Yeah, we love those guys.
John Roser, Chris Vernon, Devin Walker, Lang Whitaker, all those guys. Had a good time checking out the Grizz Gaming Studios, the Chris Vernon studio and whatnot, where they do basically everything that has anything to do with Grind City Media. That place is absolutely ridiculous and awesome. I was in shock. They run a great show. Check them out every day, 12 o'clock on the Grizzlies app over on or at Grizzlies.com.
I was going to say.
Grizzlies.com. So, yeah, I had a good time. I'm telling you, man, that studio.
It's pretty killer.
I felt pretty good about our setup. I was wrong.
Oh, come on.
I mean, now granted, they got a lot more money to put into it, right?
I was
The
just about to
Grizzlies,
say, they're the Memphis Grizzlies. They're an NBA team.
yeah, when they decided that they wanted to get into media, they went about it the right way.
Oh, absolutely.
They definitely went about it the right way. It was, whew, yeah, that's real deal stuff. So Verno, Roser, all those guys, appreciate you having me in. Let me kind of get an idea of how you run your show so that we can make this one better. And I will tell you this, we're going to constantly shift this thing up. Like I'm not tied to one thing. I'm going to switch this thing to where we're going to get better.
We're always trying to improve.
Yeah, we're always trying to get better.
And we're not afraid to try stuff.
No.
And then if we do something for a little bit and we don't like it,
Yeah.
we change it.
We'll change it up. Does not matter to me. It is what it is. Let's go on and talk about Tom Bowen.
Come on.
All right, so Tom Bowen left the University of Memphis as the AD, which everybody thought was kind of weird. So first, back in March, he signs this 6-month extension. His first deal was due up at the beginning of June, and he signs this really big deal, really small 6-month extension.
I was just about to say.
Which was
yeah.
going to get you to December.
Yeah.
And their reasoning for it was, well, we didn't know what the TV money was going to be, so we're just doing this for right now until we can
Correct.
figure out like a bigger deal later and whatnot. So the AAC got their TV money stuff figured out. They announced that. I think that was a horse. It was a whole lot of horse crap.
Yep.
We'll say that. But really, like, it was a weird resignation. I talked about it on the Daily Show once. It was strange in that he came in and just announced his resignation and then was gone.
And left.
Normally, there is a big succession plan.
Transition plan.
Yes.
Correct.
So where so transition much better because Allie Prescott's the new interim. They've got all this stuff going on. They already had that in the works. So all this stuff was kind of in the works to begin with. But now it comes out, the Daily Memphian.com, whatever, comes out and finds all these documents. They put in a Freedom of Information Act request. And what they got back was a letter that the one that was released was heavily redacted. I don't know if you saw this last night or not.
No, I didn't see it last night.
So everybody knows the main reason everybody thought was because Rudd and Bowen do not get along. David Rudd, the president of the university, he and Tom Bowen did not see eye to eye on a lot of things. So, and a lot of this had to do with the football program was going great.
That's right.
And that's always been Bowen's bread and butter. He took San Jose State with Mike McIntyre to like a 10-win season.
So
Like-
before we get into what came out today and yesterday, my fear when he resigned, this is why I started the show with kind of hopeful that he's in trouble. And I guess that's a bad thing to wish on somebody or want for someone. I really don't. But being from Memphis and a Memphis fan and growing up around here,
And the way that basketball recruiting has been going.
It's always been a basketball school. But this year, Memphis is one of only 4 teams in the country that are favored to win all 12 football games. Alabama, Clemson, Washington, and Memphis. Okay?
Yeah.
So you've got that going for you, and you're the AD of this school. And then you get a guy like Penny that comes in.
And gets the number one
And
recruiting
you have
class.
the number one. You just picked up another big recruit the day before, and then you show up and say, "I'm out, guys." And my first thought was, this is not good. This is not good. The NCAA is gloving up right now, and they're about to go in for a probe. And Bowen said, "I can't have my fingerprints on this. I need to be hireable for other jobs." And all I kept kind of wanting was, I need news to come out that this guy did something wrong. Because if he didn't, and he left a program like this, if you take a school like Memphis and you build them to a possible undefeated team in the group of 5, or at least an 11-win team for the next year or two, with the resume that they've had for the last 2 years, and you then turn the basketball program into an Elite 8, a Final Four, a number 1 recruiting class a couple of years in a row program, that's how you move to Texas A&M athletic director, Notre Dame athletic director, the best athletic director jobs in the country. That catapults you to those. You leave Memphis now, the only way you're getting another job is if you take a lateral move or a downward move, because people want to know, why the hell did you leave when everything looked good, if there's not massive amounts of smoke and red flags.
Now, everybody thought that the smoke was...
I've been afraid of that.
Everybody thought the smoke was Rudd and Bowen do not get along. Rudd is heavily involved in the athletic department. Rudd didn't want him to be.
How much you don't get along with somebody, you don't walk away from what Memphis is doing right now.
Agreed.
Unless it scares you.
Now, here is the initial problems that they had. Bowen is the one that wanted to hire Tubby Smith.
Correct.
The Passner contract that was astronomical money and all that, that was under Bowen's watch.
Sure.
So that was a bad contract. Well, then you hired Tubby Smith to a really bad contract. I mean, you're paying $3 million for a coach when you're bringing in $2 million in TV money. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But if you're wanting to maintain like a status quo about your basketball program, bring in a Hall of Fame coach, whatnot. The issue was it was a terrible fit. And David Rudd was not super thrilled about it at first, but he was going to let Bowen do his thing. Well, then when all the financial stuff the basketball program bottoms out, then Rudd has to swoop in and basically take it out of Tom's hands. Say, all right, Bowen, we can't do this anymore. We're going to fire Tubby. And Bowen did not want to fire Tubby after 2 years. It's a bad look. It will, PR-wise, it will make you a laughingstock. But for the people that were in town that understood what was going on, it was the only move you could make. Because you can bring in Penny on like a really cheap deal, and that way you can spend the next few years getting rid of the Tubby buyout while only paying a basketball coach X amount, and it works out, right?
And you've got a lot of money to pay assistants.
Yes.
Which you're going to have to do with Penny.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that, which Sam Mitchell being out, I mean, this is prime for Larry, I would love to see this.
Well, yeah, we wanted Larry on the original staff.
And Bowen was the one that would not sign off on it. Yeah. So, either way, that's what all the talk was initially. about Bowen was
That's right.
He's pissed off because Rudd went underneath him or over him.
We're going to disagree on that. He might have been pissed off. You don't leave a job like this because where all the money comes, you can win the NCAA title. If Memphis makes it to a New Year's Six bowl because they are the number one group
and
of
a Final
16,
Four.
Forget the Final Four. The money they'll make from the New Year's Six bowl
is massive.
It will override everything that college basketball could possibly do.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm one of the guys that say, look, Bowen, you need to leave the guy alone.
Yeah.
Because he's building football. And football's where the money is. It just is where the money is.
Absolutely. The next guy that comes in has to pay attention to football.
That's
because
right.
The next realignment stuff is going to go down probably 2024, 2025.
Absolutely right.
Like right when the Big 12
we have
grant of
the
rights
biggest
is done.
media market and the top school. The one thing that's going to always hurt Memphis is some of these teams want to go after schools with academic standards, and Memphis just isn't going to be
Memphis
that.
is getting better with that.
Well, we're getting better, but we're never going to be Air Force. We're never going to be some of these other places.
Yeah, but Air Force has no chance of being a Power 5 school.
No
chance.
I think there are schools that would take them because of the academics that they bring.
I could see the Pac-12 taking like Boise State.
And they don't hurt your blue blood schools. You're not a threat to Oklahoma if you take them.
You also got to look at like TV ratings, all that kind of stuff. It's why the AAC
That's right.
brought in
Okay.
Navy, right?
Right.
So you got to look at all that different kind of stuff. And Memphis is in a good position to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Houston in a great position to do that.
Houston's
Boise,
probably a little better than
UCF looks much better now than they did a few years ago. But those are all massive markets. Cincinnati, kind of the same thing.
Right.
So you just got to kind of see how things fall. But you cannot let football fall off.
No.
Football rose up under Tom Bowen, and it has stayed there. And that's the biggest thing for the next guy. So the Bowen scandal, we think, the Daily Memphian puts in a Freedom of Information Act request and wants anything that has to do with Bowen's resignation. And Bowen put in a letter on like his resignation on April 20th, and it was 4 days after an anonymous email went to either the school or the president. Either way, it ended up in the president's hands, and it was it's basically talk about Bowen and a female member of the athletic department and how this female would get his key card at hotels early because Bowen was going to show up late, which happens everywhere. That's not uncommon. Despite the fact that there were many empty seats, they seemed to make a point of sitting together on the team bus. I can only characterize their behavior as being a bit flirty. And it says, but again, it is certainly possible that they were having business discussions. And the guy even says, or girl, whoever it was that sent this, said, look, this may just seem petty and there may be nothing to it, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. Well, then Bowen resigns 4 days after this letter gets taken to the school, and Dr. Rudd comes in and basically says, we accepted his. Brandon jumps in on Facebook. Memphis will never be number one in anything besides crime. #truth. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They got the number one recruiting class in basketball, so
That's right.
Props to that. But so the Bowen deal, he came out and basically refuted everything. He said, this is ridiculous. Like, there was no merit to this. It was never even presented to me. It was never validated. It was never done. I never knew anything about this.
Yep.
So is it possible that he actually did not know anything about this and the resignation had more to do with he and Rudd not getting along?
I just can't believe that. I don't care how.
Like, I could believe that it wasn't presented to him.
Yeah.
My guess is somebody told him, hey, they're coming after you. They're looking into stuff. And he said, screw this. I'm done with it. I'm tired of going to work and being upset every day.
It's so hard to walk away from a job where you're getting credit for the athletic program, and the athletic program is doing things it's never done in its history. And nationally, they're about to be recognized for this season all year round.
Yeah.
An entire calendar year is going to go by, and they're going to be talking Memphis football and Memphis basketball on a national scale, on channels like Fox Sports and ESPN. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine you walking away. And I've had bad bosses. I've had really, really bad bosses. And I just can't imagine being so, like, a situation being so bad that I'm walking away from this job when nationally everything is going good and everybody sees me as doing an unbelievable job.
You know what's funny is, so Bowen was making $400,000 a year. Ren Baker, who was the deputy AD under Tom Bowen a few years ago, however long ago it was, he was like, he's making $450,000 a year at North Texas as their AD.
Yeah.
So the going rate is much more than what Bowen was getting paid,
But that's why if you're so miserable, you ride this season out. You let Memphis Tiger football be where it is. If you get into that New Year's Six Bowl, he can write his ticket to any AD job he wants that's open next year, and he can probably get a couple of guys fired just to get him hired on.
yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
I just don't understand why, when everything is poised the way it is, you take this contract through December. You'll know in December if you're the New Year's Six guy or not, and you'll have the first part of college basketball going.
That's true.
And you'll kind of see how the
At that
season's
point,
going.
Memphis could be number one in the country in basketball and maybe top 10 in football.
That's right. It absolutely is realistic for that to happen. Yeah. And then you say, you know what, Rudd, go stick it.
Yeah.
I'm about to go take the AD job somewhere else, and I'm about to take this $400,000 salary, and I'm going to turn it to 7 figures, 6 figures. Maybe not 7.
That would make more sense. I think it makes sense that he knew about this. Yes. And this is the only logical reason I can think the
of.
Way it was
you
worded,
can make anything work for 6-7 months.
The way it was worded, it sounds like he knew it. He knew something was going on, but they had not presented it to him yet. They hadn't come to him and said, "Yo, what's going on?"
Is this a student, or is this just somebody else that works for the school?
I think it's an employee. Like, I think it's an employee, because there's no way a student's going to get an AD's card.
I know we live in a world of Me Too,
like
and it's a little different. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if this is all consensual, let's say there is something going on. If they're two adults in their 30s and 40s, who cares? Who cares? Are you telling me nobody at the University of Memphis is married to another faculty member?
No, there's a ton of them.
I know that. I know that. I know some of them personally.
Yeah.
So, like, why are we giving this guy a shit about it? Now, if it's unconsensual and the person, the individual wrote the letter,
and the flirty part
it is bothering me, it is making me uncomfortable, then we're having a completely different conversation. But
well, I mean,
that's
look,
not
Bowen,
what's been told out.
Bowen is married and has kids, but that should not.
I am married and I have kids, but it doesn't matter. I cannot at my job dictate your morality.
Yeah,
I just can't. If we allow other members of faculty to engage in consensual relationship, then I'm going to allow everyone to.
Yeah.
I can't just say only the single people, because you don't know what other people's marriages believe and what they think and how they what they do in their personal life.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. The show, as always, brought to you by BetNow.eu. Great online sportsbook. You can go. You can go get the promo code winning50, 50% deposit bonus. I'm telling you, fantastic layout. They got good odds. Go check it out for yourself. BetNow.eu. You can actually see it at the bottom of the screen here. BetNow.eu, winning50 is the promo code for a 50% deposit bonus. Go check that thing out, or it's in the description if you want the link yourself. Go check it out. Next topic. Let's talk a little Memphis Grizzlies.
Come on.
Mike Conley, it appears, is going to be gone, right? Because the Grizzlies got the number 2 pick. Everybody's excited.
We're taking Ja Morant.
We're taking Ja Morant. We're not talking about R.J. Barrett because we already did that once, and we ain't doing it again.
Nope.
It is Ja Morant or bust. So you got your point guard for the future.
Yes.
So he's the number 2 pick. You're going to play him.
That's right.
So you can get a king's ransom for Mike Conley. The amount of money that he makes.
For competing teams and how inept. Look at the playoff teams right now that are left. The final 4 teams in the NBA. And look at the point guard position, man.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't great. And Mike is a super capable, competent, well-established point guard, and he doesn't need the ball. He doesn't need to take 20, 30 shots a game. He doesn't want it.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of guy. He wants to distribute to these guys.
So the deal that has been talked about is the Grizzlies and the Celtics making a trade because everybody assumes Kyrie is gone from Boston. So if Kyrie signs with the Knicks or the Lakers or whoever, if Kyrie's gone, they're going to need a good veteran point guard. Right. Now, I don't think Terry Rozier agrees with that. He wants to be the starter. But
Terry could probably be the starter.
They
need somebody to be able to come off they would need at least two.
Yeah.
Terry would play way more minutes if Conley was the point guard
as opposed to Kyrie.
As Kyrie, because Kyrie's playing the whole game.
Well, and Mike Conley is, I feel like, a much better teammate. Easier to get along with, no ego.
No, I don't know that anybody in the world would argue that.
Yeah.
Kyrie's mama saying Conley's better.
Yeah.
He's a better teammate. He's
a
better locker room guy.
Conley's contract is a little over $34 million the next 2 seasons. Right. So 34 this year, 34 the next year, whatever. Gordon Hayward, his deal was a little over $29 million.
Correct.
So to make the money work, it would be Gordon Hayward and probably a late first, something like that. So or mid first, whatever. Is that deal worth it for the Grizzlies? Like, if you're the Grizzlies, are you trying to? Of course, we think it works for the Celtics, right? Because I think Conley would have taken that team a little further. I don't think he would have taken as many shots, all that kind of, whatever. So for the Grizzlies, that gives you a starting five of Ja Morant. You got Avery Bradley at the 2, who is kind of like your Tony Allen player.
That's right. I know.
You got Gordon Hayward at the 3. You got Jaren Jackson at the 4. And then you got, hopefully, Jonas Valanciunas at the 5. That is an awesome team.
I'm in love with this team. I love that deal. And let me tell you the biggest reason why I love that deal. You're getting younger. Conley is not going to play 3-4 more years.
But Hayward is – how old is Hayward?
Oh, he's quite a bit younger than Conley, I would bet.
He's 29 years old. Conley, I think, is 32. Is that right? But let's see. Mike Conley. Man, this thing pulled up 59 years old. You know, there's a 31 years old. Okay. All right, so he's 2 years older. So you're not getting a lot younger. But the deal is Hayward maybe fits better with Ja Morant than just keeping Conley and
And we don't know what that pick could be.
The pick could be anything, but the biggest thing is the money equals out. If you're the Grizzlies, are you trying to get off of that big salary? Because Hayward's contract is 3 more years. Yep. Is that right? And Conley's is only 2.
But so much of our roster are going to be rookie contract guys.
Yes.
So we've got the money.
Well, Parsons is going to come off the books next year anyway.
That's it. What's killing us is not Conley's money for Hayward's money. It's we need to take Chandler and push him out a window.
Is Hayward a good enough player, and does he fit well enough? Is this the deal that you would want?
I would.
Because you're looking at if you're the Grizzlies, you're also looking with like the Pistons because they're talking about trading like Luke Kennard and a first or whatever. And Luke Kennard, I mean, he shot like 41% from 3.
I think next year Hayward's going to be substantially better than what he was this year. There were too many guys that didn't know how to share the ball in Boston. You bring him to a place, you're now going to have a point guard who's incredible at making other people better at the college level. I think he's going to do that. Kyrie, not that kind of point guard that makes other people better.
Yeah.
He himself is really good. He doesn't make anybody else around him better.
He fits in well on a team like it, so he would fit, I think, with LeBron
ISO
and the
ball.
Lakers because they need to run ISO.
They need to run ISO.
Like the Warriors, we talked about this with Kevin Durant.
That's
they don't need to run ISO.
No. If him and KD end up on the same team together, they're going to run ISO ball. KD's going to take some possessions, and he's going to take some possessions. And they're going to be really good at that. But Brad Stevens doesn't run ISO ball.
Nope.
The Celtics don't run ISO ball. They play as a team.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. Conley is going to make them so much better because Conley's going to play as a team. And then I think Hayward's going to fit in with Memphis really well. I just do. He gives a veteran, grown-up presence to this team that's going to be really young. He brings some leadership, but he's not like super overbearing, in-your-face kind of guy. He just seems like he comes to
now,
work
if they put Hayward at the 3, that puts Kyle Anderson on the bench, which I think for the most part is what he was used to with the Spurs. But there were people saying like the Grizzlies made a commitment to Kyle Anderson one night. They're paying him $9 million a year.
Okay,
it's like you're paying him $9 million a year.
$9 million is not that much.
Get out of my face with Kyle Anderson over Gordon Hayward.
No.
Hayward, yes, he had the leg or the foot injury. I got that, but did you see him play the last 25 games?
We also live in a different world of basketball. This is why I'm so afraid of the coaching staff in Memphis and the lack of consistency and being able to get somebody that's good and decent and can stay here and actually grow with this team.
I'm hoping for Nate Tibbetts.
The biggest problem is this.
But that's just me.
We live in a world where the NBA now is a positionless team. Like you don't need a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. If Mike Anderson's that good, Mike Anderson's going to be on the court.
Kyle Anderson.
Sorry.
Yeah. If Slow-Mo was that good, then he will be on the court somewhere.
He's going to be on the court.
And I fully believe because they've got
and
Dylan
make
Brooks
it work.
and they've got Kyle
That's
Anderson.
right.
They got all these guys.
They're going to make it work. But it takes a good coach with creative scheming and practicing and working together with these guys to put together an offense and a defense that works that way.
Yeah.
But if he's good enough, he'll be on the court. You don't need to worry about this guy plays my position because there's no doubt in my mind if they don't make this deal immediately and they want to let the trade market heat up and they want to get a king's ransom for they want more than Hayward.
Well, because you can build a lot of pieces. You can get a lot of assets back for Mike Conley and his deal.
So what I think could happen, I mean, not just could happen, would happen if he plays the first month or two in Memphis. Conley and Ja are going to be on the court at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Ja's just going to move to the 2, and it's just going to be the way they play.
Yeah.
Like it's like you don't take this kind of athletes. This is why basketball has gotten more fun over the last couple of years in the sense of these guys. We're just out of the structure of you play the 3 and you play the 4 and you play the 2 and this guy's the point guard and he runs it. Like no. I mean, how many times do you see, a Draymond taking the ball up the court and running the offense? Like
that's exactly what they do.
Who's got the ball?
Bring
it up
do.
And let's just go. Let's run. Everybody knows their offense. Everybody can pass.
That's what the Memphis Tigers are going to do with their offense.
That's right.
Boogie Ellis, you can play point guard for us,
right.
But the fact is, like, Lester or whoever gets the ball is going to bring it up the floor because you're moving.
We're going to probably run fast transition. So it's just the way it is. I think if you get bogged down, if you bring somebody in, this isn't football where you brought in another quarterback. Like, no, dude, you play small forward. It's okay. Like, there's teams out there that have like 2 or 3 small forwards on the court at the same time.
Well, because Hayward could play the 4, and then you can put Jaren Jackson at the 5, and he can be one of those small ball, super fast 5s.
Everything is fluid in the NBA today.
Yeah.
Everything is fluid.
I am with you. Let's stay on the NBA. Let's move to topic number 3. The All-NBA team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They were announced today.
They got released.
You want to take a stab before you search for it?
Okay.
You want to take a stab and see who made first? You didn't watch a ton of NBA this year, so you may not know.
I did. I like the NBA. I hate the Grizzlies. I love the Grizzlies.
Didn't like them right now.
I want Mike Wallace pushed out a window. Chris Wallace. Man, I don't know why I'm calling everybody Mike today.
That's because Kyle Anderson, you were calling
Mike Anderson.
Mike Anderson. I don't know what.
Anyway, some guy named Mike's going to beat me up.
All right, All NBA first team. Who you got?
I'm going to say Curry.
Yep.
I'm going to say at the 2 Harden.
Yep.
I'm going to say Durant.
Nope.
Durant wasn't.
Durant was not first team. Durant was second team.
That's shocking. I wonder if he missed too many games. Oh, no, it's Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo. Yeah, the Greek Freak. He's on there.
No doubt.
So
I can't believe I missed him.
You got Harden.
He's my MVP.
You got Harden. You got Curry. You got Antetokounmpo. You got a forward and a center left.
Now I'm getting stumped.
Now this is different from like NBA All-Star team.
I know that. Man, I'm trying to think who they would have picked for first team.
I think both answers are going to surprise you.
Okay, give them to me.
Forward, Paul George.
So, he did have like an early NBA MVP season early.
And then
I would have never guessed him.
Nikola Jokic.
Jokic, I was wondering. Jokic was amazing this year.
Yeah.
And Simmons has him third in his MVP race, which is probably correct. I probably would agree with that. The only problem is I didn't know if there would be enough national people to make him one.
Well, they definitely made him one. He had 411 total points.
So he doesn't surprise me. I would have guessed 30 players before I could pick Paul George.
Second
I just
team,
forgot that he had a monster season.
Now, second team is pretty out there. Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Dame Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving.
I mean, that's a loaded team.
That's a loaded second team.
That's most years. That's the first team.
All right, now here's where we're going to get into some money talk.
Okay.
All right. Russell Westbrook. So Dame Lillard making second means that he's up for a supermax that's like worth $191 million over 4 years, whatever it is. Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, LeBron James, Rudy Gobert, and then dead last, but still made the team, Kemba Walker.
I think he's deserving too.
I agree, but I mean, why are you going to have LeBron James on there when he played 56 games?
LeBron James is on there just strictly because a name only. I mean,
but they didn't put Anthony Davis on there. Anthony Davis played one more game and had better numbers than LeBron James.
Oh, I agree, and I don't think either one of them should have been up for it.
I think it was.
I completely agree.
People were holding the AD trade request and whatnot against him, and then him wanting to sit out.
But LeBron's the one that helps organize. It's Klutz that did that. How do you hold AD against it, but not LeBron?
LeBron's more likable.
I don't know that. I don't know if that's true or not.
To media members, 100%.
Okay, maybe to media members.
100%.
If you polled NBA fans across the league, I don't know that he's more likable than AD.
So,
because AD's pretty likable.
He's likable, but
before this year, he was one of the most lovable guys in the league.
Well, and then this year, everybody hated him
because he kind of he took a small market team and he was like, "Screw you! I'm perfectly healthy and I'm not going to play."
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So Kemba actually making the third team sets him up to make the super max. Like the super max.
Yep.
5-year, $221 million contract. Now, Verno, when I was in there watching those guys do their show, he brought up, man, do you think this was maybe like other NBA guys wanting Charlotte to like screw themselves for the next 5 years?
Them pay a lot of money.
Make them pay a whole bunch of money to Kemba Walker to be able to keep him, and then like screw their salary cap for years.
So there are a lot of reports that if Kyrie doesn't go to the Knicks, that Kemba would be the guard that want to go play there. But I don't know that he's turning down the Supermax.
I mean,
the other player here.
The Supermax
Let me tell you a different player.
Isn't it like $40 million more or $50 million more dollars?
Yeah, it's a lot over the length of the contract. It's a lot, and I mean, you get like the last couple of years of it's like $50 million a year for like the last year or two. Damian Lillard, same thing. Now, I think Damian Lillard's incredible. My question is when he's 34 years old, is he worth $50 million?
No.
But see, now this is the hard part, okay? This is what's impossible. When Memphis signed Conley to the first ever Supermax back then, we thought $30 million on the back end of that contract is ridiculous. And now, Conley, the diminished Conley that he is a bargain that any team wants. The cap keeps going up and up and up. Supercap's not penalizing anybody.
Yeah, the percentage of what they're taking against the cap is not nearly what it used to be.
Yep.
So when you look at it from that point, it's like, okay, well, this might be worth it. It would, if you are a player like Kemba Walker, you feel like going to the Knicks, you can be on a bigger stage, playing in more national TV games. You can help your brand. Can you make that much money back in endorsements? Do you take that bet on yourself? I
don't know that you're worried about making that much money back because either way, you're going to finish with $200 million, okay? So therein lies the problem of, is this Supermax deal worth it? While it's $50 million more than anybody else can offer you, it's the difference between $200 million and $250 million. Like, I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're turning down a lot of money, but you're still like
making a bunch of money.
Disgusting rich. And the other thing is if you go to New York and you're the guy that gets to go play with Durant, you can win a championship. You're not winning a championship in Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
So is it money or winning that matters to you?
Well, it's what KD did. It's what LeBron and them did.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the issue with the friends and family basketball that we've got in the NBA right now, which is, while I have to take pay cuts, is it a pay cut?
Well, so Verno brought up today on his show, like the KD thing. He said, "Man, I'm telling you, Jerry West went to that dude and was like, look, I played for the Lakers for all these years. I made it to the finals every year, lost every year." He said, "and it keeps me up at night." He said, Jerry West got one, but he lost like 8 finals to the Celtics. But Jerry West told him, like, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you can go back to Oklahoma City and sign for all this money and whatever, or you can come to the Warriors and get your wins, and that's all people are going to remember is that you got rings, you got wins. But he thinks that's how it was sold to KD. How do you sell that to Kemba? Like, it depends on what is important to somebody. KD is like super insecure. Like, we know that.
Yes.
Is Kemba insecure? Do championships matter to him?
I think championships matter to anybody that's playing at this kind of level.
Yeah, but is it worth more than guaranteed money?
Well,
because like Kemba is the man in Charlotte.
You're right,
and you got no real media pressure on you in Charlotte.
The problem is the pay cut is not that much in the grand scheme of the overall contract.
Yep, but then there's all the pressure of going to the Knicks and needing to win and everything else. So like,
now you've got Madison Square Gardens and you've got
everything
the media,
changes.
And you're right. Now that all is different. I don't know. Some people want that. Some people don't. And I don't know anything about Kemba to know is that something he would want. I'm going to tell you. I think what was sold to KD is just wrong. I'm going to remember the rest of my life, and large portions of NBA fans, they're not going to see KD's got 2 rings, and KD might get 3 rings now. They're going to say KD joined a team, and they gave him some rings. I'm not going to remember Boogie Cousin as a champion.
Well, I think you know what I'm
saying?
Right. You're probably right.
I think there might be a day and a time. Nobody who watches basketball today, even though he was the MVP of both those finals, doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
Without you, this team still wins. Yeah. So what do you bring? You just win in a different way.
You ain't bringing a whole lot of nothing.
But had you won in Oklahoma City, you would have been God.
No, you're right about that.
Now, the difference is Kemba's not close to winning in Oklahoma City. He is God. He is king in Charlotte, but they're not anywhere close.
No,
I'll tell
dead
you
on.
this. If I was a big-time star, if I was Giannis and you're that good, we live in a global world now where anybody can come to you. I would never leave. I would be God. If you can win in a small marketplace, there is no doubt in my mind I would never leave there. I would never leave because the pressure is...
It's kind of like San Antonio.
You're just another guy if you win in L.A.
Well,
You're
I'll tell you
just another guy if you win. Now, if the person that wins it for the Knicks because of this dry spell will be hailed. But like if you're in Boston and you win, you're never going to be Larry. You're never going to be.
But same with the Lakers.
Russell.
It's like LeBron going out to L.A. Even if he won a championship with the Lakers, like, well, Kobe got 5.
That's right.
So I don't know what
I'm with you.
I don't know what to do there. All right, let's move on to the last topic. We'll close out this one pretty quick. Mariota and Jameis Winston, their 5th-year options were picked up today. Let's see. And this thing decided to crap on me immediately.
What are you looking up?
Pull up Jameis Winston's stats for the last 4 seasons. So Pro Football Reference, and I've got Mariota's pulled up right now. Marcus Mariota.
Oh, I got contract stuff. Sorry.
You good? You good? So ProFootballReference.com. Mariota, 56 games played over the last 4 seasons. Started 55 of them. He was 27-28. He had a 63% completion percentage. Jameis. Yep. That will change it for you. 63% completion percentage. And this thing decided to...
Talking about last year's numbers?
Yes. Okay. Well, no. I'm just talking about overall.
Okay.
Overall. There we go. So, 69 touchdowns to 42 interceptions. That's what we'll mainly look at. He's got over 12,000 yards. Jameis, 14,000 yards, 14.6 thousand yards passing.
Substantially better offensive skill players around him. Having his entire career with Mike Evans has been absolute game changer.
88 touchdowns?
58 interceptions.
58 interceptions, 88 touchdowns. Marcus Mariota, 69 touchdowns.
All of those.
And 42 interceptions.
Okay. His rookie year and his second year, where all those numbers come from. His next 2 years, he averaged 19 touchdowns both years. His last two, 14 and 11.
He actually had less interceptions the last 2 years, but he also had less games played.
I was going to say he played less games.
Yeah.
He only played 13 games and 11 games, or 9 games and 13 games.
His interception percentage is 3%. Mariota's is 2.6.
In 9 games started.
So
that's bad, dude.
Mariota's QBR.
Did you hear that? 14 interceptions in 9 games started.
That's pretty bad.
That's bad.
That's pretty bad. Well, but he played in 11 games, and he had interceptions in those games as well. Either way, it's not good. None of that's good.
More interceptions in games played, not good.
QBR, or his rating.
Okay.
Which his rating is 87.8. Is that right down at the bottom? And Mariota's was 89.4.
Yeah, they're close.
So fairly close.
Here's my question that I want to bring up in these two guys.
Okay.
They both got picked up for this year.
Just to see what's going to happen, right?
That's right.
Like, can Mariota stay healthy?
We don't believe that either one of these teams, as currently constructed, are going to be bad enough to get the first pick overall.
No, not a chance.
I think the coaching staff for both these teams is too good. I think the skill players around them are too good. And I don't think they are that bad as much as I hate Jameis. My problem is, if you're not sold on these guys and you make them an offer going forward that they're going to be your future, are you satisfied with being the Bengals? Are you satisfied with Andy Dalton? You've got a quarterback that's going to be average. He's going to be middle of the pack every year. He's going to take you to a wild card game.
But at least you know what you got.
Yeah, you're never going to be the laughing, or you're rarely going to be the laughing stock as long as he's healthy. But you're also never going to win a Super Bowl. You're never really going to even compete for it. I don't know, you know how I feel about these things. As soon as I know I have a losing hand, I fold it.
Yeah.
I think both of these guys are a losing hand. I love Mariota, but it's not his ability. His availability is not there. It's just not. And so if I think I can tank this year and get Tua, or tank next year and get a...
Yeah, but remember, Mariota was Tua before
That's right.
Tua.
But guess what? He ain't working out. So let me try the next version of him. I don't have to change my offense. I don't have to change anything. I just bring the next guy in, and boom, bang, bing. And if he can stay healthy, we got a shot.
Well,
and if he can't
look
stay
at your
healthy,
Super
we're
Bowl
screwed.
quarterbacks. Look at your Super Bowl quarterbacks. I mean, you had Jared Goff last year. Yeah, he was the number 2 pick.
Okay.
Got that. But should have probably been Drew Brees and Tom Brady.
Okay.
You got to develop these guys over time.
All right.
So, but neither one of those guys was like first round surefire.
But what do you do with Russell Wilson, who his second year
was a third
year
round
in the league?
guy? So why not just continue to do what you're doing right now, at least for this year, and just see what you got with these guys?
Maybe.
So,
I don't like
and
that.
if somebody comes in and because what else are you going to do? If you're the Titans, you're going to play Ryan Tannehill all year? Like, he ends up injured.
I wouldn't have signed Ryan Tannehill to $12 million and paid
No, I
him
agree.
They got $32 million, almost $33 million tied up in a quarterback, and I don't think either one of them can start 10 games. Now, thankfully, you only play 16, so you just need one of them to start half of them, the other one to start half. And I think Mariota's substantially better than Tannehill, but he's just not there very often.
No, I think yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, let's go wrap up the show. 45 minutes deep.
Come on.
All right, go check out betnow.eu. Use promo code winning50. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at winningcures, at Gary WCE.
At Chris B. Giannini.
You can also subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. If you would, on Apple Podcasts, leave a very nice review. 5-star written review. Help us out. Share the show out. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and tweet at us.